Well, good morning, America. Last night, something pretty interesting happened. The CBS host, she started off pretty soft. Then, halfway through the interview, you can tell she realized something. She said to herself, wait a minute. Ilhan might actually be tied to the same Somali fraud she's trying to claim as a victim story, AKA Trump was right. Let's start here.
Of the 87 people charged, all but 8 are of Somali descent. And that has added to the spotlight being put specifically on your community. Why do you think this fraud was allowed to get so widespread?
Well, I want to say, this also has an impact on Somalis because we are also taxpayers in Minnesota. We also could have benefited from the program and the money that was stolen. And so it's been really frustrating for people to not acknowledge the fact that we're also as Minnesotans, as taxpayers, really upset and angry about the fraud that has occurred.
Of the 87 people charged, all but 8 are of Somali descent.
Y'all see this? You see, this is where the panic starts, right there. Right there. Ilhan is trying to run the classic reversal. We're not the victims of the fraud that we committed. But the host isn't buying it. And I'm surprised for it to be Face the Nation, right? She's watching Ilhan defend a community tied to over $1 billion. Yes, over $1 billion stolen taxpayer money. And Ilhan's tone is already seemingly shaken. And that's before... Oh, wow. My bad, y'all. I got my computer screen going crazy. But that was before the bombshell we're not supposed to see next. Listen to this.
I want to pick up on where the Treasury Secretary just left off. He alleged that people who were tied to you or your campaign were involved in this broad, brazen scheme to rip off the Minnesota state welfare system. Do you want to respond to that? Do you know what he is referring to?
I really don't, and I don't think the secretary himself understands what he's referring to. We obviously had people who were able to donate to our campaign that were involved. We sent that money back a couple years ago. And actually, I was one of the first members of Congress to send a letter to the Secretary of Ag asking them to look into what I thought was a reprehensible fraud that was occurring within the program.
I want to pick up on where the Treasury Secretary just left off. He alleged that people who were tied to you or your campaign were involved in this broad.
Okay, did y'all hear that? I know y'all heard that. Ilhan admits she took donations from Somalis tied to the massive fraud scheme, right? And then tries to clean it up by saying, we sent the money back a couple years ago. Why is that not the headline everywhere, right? CBS knows what this means. I'm telling you, this isn't, victims anymore. This is direct financial connection to the same ring she's pretending to condemn. And this is why America and Americans are fed up.
So why is this heifer still in office? Why does she still have a spot in the government? This heifer done said some of the most craziest shit, done some of the most craziest shit, and she still has a position? Donald Trump has come out and talked against this woman, saying how bad she is for Minneapolis, how bad she is for this country, came out with proof that she married her brother and she still has a position? No, you know what? At some point in time, Americans got to stand up and say enough is enough. And y'all sitting here talking about vote somebody out. How the fuck you vote somebody out that's done some shit illegal? She don't deserve a vote. She needs to be removed from her position. This is what I'm talking about when I talk the cowardness of American people. We're cowards. Ain't no way in hell somebody comes into your home, throws shit on the ground, tells you how much they hate shit, and still can lay their motherfucking head in your bedroom. But in America, motherfuckers are laying everywhere, disrespecting us, committing fraud, breaking the law, and they still got a position? Get the fuck out of here. So she's broken the law, marrying her brother, all right? She's over a district riddled with fraud, and she still has a position in government. Donald Trump, you're wrong. Pam Bondi, you're wrong. Cash Patel, you're wrong. We shouldn't be, we have to wait and this and that. We got to go through the proper channels. No, fuck that. You said you had proof that she married her brother. You said you had proof that they had been committing fraud. You have all this information. Remove her ass expeditiously. She needs to go. Set the goddamn president that don't fuck with this country. I'm out.
That's one thing I will admit. I was having this conversation the other day with somebody who's not Democrat, left, right, none of that. Basically telling them, like, you know, the left, the Democrats, they're pretty good at, even if it's corruption, they're pretty good at following through with what all the corruption they say they're going to do. I ain't going to say anything else because, you know, but the Republicans, we're pretty good at finding it for the most part, right? But we be sitting back like, come on, what you going to do with that information? But that, you know, what we just watched this right here, this is what mainstream media, they pretend doesn't exist. A Black American calling out Ilhan, calling out the fraud and demanding accountability. Look below this video for that mug. Not racism, not xenophobia, just facts. All right. He sees what CBS is pretending not to see. Ilhan's district is drowning in fraud. And she's at the center every single time.
Hello, Donald Trump. What do you say? Somali people is a garbage. No. You the garbage. Because you fire. You are not no more an American president. Somali people, we are American. We are American citizen. We are taxpayer. We are honest. All the world people, some people they do mistake, some people they don't. We are sent for other human beings. But all Somali people, they are not a garbage. All Somali people, they are not a bad. All Somali people, they are not the same. You have to respect for Somali people. We are American. And we hope we wait in a nice president. No, all humanitarian people. We are the best. We are taxpayer. We are hard worker. We work in the government and everywhere. Thank you, America.
Now, this is exactly why Trump said what he said. This woman's entire response accidentally proves his point. I mean, so perfectly, too. See, instead of addressing the fraud, instead of acknowledging anything, she makes a video crying about, don't call us garbage, while ignoring the billion-dollar elephant in the room. Now, Trump was not talking about all Somalis, right? Come on, man. People are so intellectually dishonest these days. You know, he was talking about criminal behavior, corruption, and the fraud networks. But I want you to watch how deep this really goes.
So a Somali American politician here in Maine, Abdullahi Ali, has placed a murder bounty on a journalist for reporting a fraud scandal for millions of dollars involving Maine Care. No wonder fucking Maine Care and taxes are so expensive here. It's being funneled back to Somalia. And they're openly putting murder bounties on people reporting it. Is this the kind of diversity we wanted here in Maine? Are you fucking liberals happy? So a Somali American politician.
A bounty on a journalist in the United States because he exposed Somali Medicaid fraud. Wow. Let's be very, very clear. This is not cultural misunderstanding. This is not from a different background. All right. This is imported clan politics, intimidation, and corruption. The exact same environment that destroyed Somalia in the first place, right? Man, y'all, we got to stay prayed up out here. Seriously. I'm going to dig deeper into this particular topic, possibly in the next video. But, you know, and this is happening in Maine, in Minnesota, Columbus. Everywhere it seems that they're replicating these networks.
Leave him alone! You guys cannot do that. That's illegal. Call 911. Call 911. They're doing kidnapping. That's illegal. Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
Smile at me, sir. Smile at me, ma'am.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. You guys are doing kidnapping. Kidnapping. This is called kidnapping. Kidnapping. This kidnapping. Call 911. Naima, call 911. Piece of work. This is called kidnapping.
Listen to the
Leave
panic
him alone.
in that woman's
You guys
voice.
cannot do.
Call 911. They're doing kidnapping. No, they're not. They're doing a job. You know, that's ICE doing the job that local officials refuse to do, obviously. And this is what happens when politicians ignore fraud, ignore illegal immigration, ignore corruption, and let these networks, you know, grow unsupervised. That's exactly what you get. The chaos you're watching is the bill coming due. But yeah, even Africans are calling this out now, y'all.
Let me tell you something. People are not jealous of Somalis or Somalia. And Trump is right. That place is a shit hole. And for one Somali, or quite a few Somalis who've come into my comments after I did my viral video calling out Ilhan Omar, they have the nerve to call my country of Zambia a shithole. Well, let me tell you something. People jump easily to go to Zambia, which is a beautiful country. In fact, Donald Trump Jr. was just recently there last month. Yes, he met up with our President Hakainde Hichilema, seen here. You can see the picture. He met up with him because Donald Trump Jr. went on a private visit. He went on he was on vacation there, and he met up with our president. And he loves going to Zambia. It's not the first time that he's been out there. If anything ever happened to me and it didn't work out for me to be here, I can comfortably and easily say I'll go home to Zambia and I would make it out there because there's a lot going on. My country of Zambia has so much potential, but nobody is jealous of Somalis. And Somalis right now, they are pissed off with Africans. They're really pissed off with us because we are not rallying behind them and we're not supporting them. The reason why we are not supporting you Somalis is because y'all are selfish people, you're ungrateful, you're haters, you're racist, you're tribalistic. Nobody wants to be behind you and you're so standoffish. And the most important thing, y'all have said you're not Africans. You said you're Somalis. You gravitate more towards Arabic, those Arabic countries. So you've distanced yourself from Africans. That is why we don't support you. Nobody wants to support y'all. Y'all are a problem. You're a big problem. You're thieves, you're liars, you're scammers. You know, nobody trusts you. And a lot of Africans are embarrassed by y'all. They don't even want to associate themselves with you guys. So the feeling is mutual. Y'all don't want to be Africans. We don't want you. We are embarrassed that you are in the African continent because y'all are an embarrassment. Your country is a shit, slumpy, dumpy hole. Nothing is going on there. Nothing. You guys have dilapidated, ruin-like buildings. You know, you've got trash everywhere. You know, nothing. And the most important thing, why a lot of Africans, they're not riding behind y'all, Somalis, is because when it came to issues like that whole Nigerian, the killing of Christians, you guys have been silent and mum. Why? Because your fake ass, evil, cult-like religion is behind it, killing all those innocent Nigerians. And you would think Ilhan Omar, being a congresswoman trying to speak up on African issues, what is she doing? She said nothing about the subject. Nancy Mace has spoken about it, and she's a congresswoman, an American one at that, like a purebred American one. She's been talking about the issue about Nigeria. Ilhan Omar has not even used her platform. That is why a lot of Africans, they're not supporting y'all. That's why we don't care about Somalis. We don't care about y'all. Y'all fight this one on your own.
Now, when people from Zambia, shout out to Maddie, a completely different African nation, are saying, no, Somalia is Somalia is the problem. Trump was right. The dam is broken, basically. CBS knows it. The host felt it in real time, and Ilhan absolutely knows it. She knows it. That's why her answers get shakier every time. The truth is simple. You can't run a district drowning in fraud, fake money from, the fraudsters, defend them on TV, and then sit there and try to pretend that you're the victim. America's waking up. Trump warned us, a while ago. And the receipts are finally hitting the light, y'all. Now, if you made it to the end of the video, she knows it. Y'all be safe. Go check on a friend today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.